belong together, you and I forever and ever.
No
We're
matter
walking-
where you are.
We're walking on air.
Oh,
Just to know you are
whoa.
there. Dude, Neighbours and Home and Away. Let me just first
That wasn't
welcome-
Neighbours nor
Yeah, that was Home and Away.
Oh.
Yeah, and then Neighbours was Neighbours.
I thought you were singing Believe It or Not, I'm walking on air.
Where did you get that from? How Australian are you, dude? How do you not know Home and Away? That's like a national anthem.
I know Home and Away and Neighbours,
Yeah.
but
Hold me
in your arms, don't let me down. Go.
I
Want you to stay forever, closer each day.
Welcome, Kris. Kris Fade, the man that needs
Thank
no
you.
introductions to
Thank
the show.
you. Thank
Can you imagine just growing up as a youngster in London, that those were like the top two shows?
Crazy.
Like Pippa was a gangster.
Pippa, you know they just cancelled the show though.
Really?
Neighbours.
Yeah, but it's been on for 300 years.
Yeah,
so
they
you can
just
imagine.
they just called an end to it. Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan are getting back together
Mate, that's where
for the finale. Yeah, to do something. I don't know. It's weird.
That's how they got together, right? On that show.
That show was like it's
Wow.
institution. I have no idea how they kept it going for all these years. That's crazy.
They were just recycling it, right? So
It was just I think it got worse and worse progressively
Yeah.
as time went
yeah,
on.
well, if it
you
hasn't
know?
got Alf Stewart and thing in it.
But yeah, the song that you sung then sounds exactly like the song that I was singing.
Yeah, I know the song that you're singing, but it definitely wasn't that. Home and Away and Neighbours, that was my jam, bro. Coming back from school and then putting Home and Away on.
And he's showing his age,
Yeah.
people. Showing
Well,
his
mate,
age.
we're not spring chickens anymore, mate. To be
I
honest-
am.
To be honest, yeah, I agree with you because
Yeah.
when I was growing up, if somebody told me 40, I was like, yeah, you got three more weeks to live and you're dead.
Yeah, you're gone.
And if you look at pictures, I mean, especially Arabs,
Yep.
when they, like our parents, when they were like 25, they had a full handlebar mustache,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, hairy chest, and they looked old.
They look 40.
Yeah.
At the age of 25, yeah, our parents look 40.
Yeah, like our
50.
generation is,
We're looking all right.
we're looking all right. We're not,
That's
we're
the
not,
camera.
we're
Can
not
I get a
looking
close
bad,
up?
right?
Just yeah, there you go.
We're not looking bad, right?
That's not bad. Hey,
Looks
65.
All right. Looks all right. Yeah, but I was going to say
65.
for your age, you look
yeah,
all right.
I look all right.
Dude, I mean, look, for those of you who don't know who Kris is, that's your business. But how's it feel being pretty much the voice of Dubai, dude?
Yeah, moved from Australia here 14 years ago and started a radio show and then helped launch a radio station called Virgin Radio Dubai.
Yeah.
And since then, yeah, it's been pretty good. It's like, a well listened to show here in the country.
Yeah, man. I mean, the famous hello mum, hello dad thing, I'm sure everybody who,
Yeah.
especially parents, dude, because that school run, like you're like
Yeah.
a savior to us on the school run. It's like everyone who does a school run is listening.
What do you guys
to the
do in
Kris
there?
Fade
I always
show.
wonder, like, you guys just have the radio on because I'm on the radio obviously, and I'm talking into a microphone and it's going out. And I know there's a lot of people listening. We get calls, we get that. But when you listen in the car with the kids, because you do a
Yeah.
lot, sometimes you do the school drop off
I do it every day. Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Is it on loud? Is it just passive listening? Are you concentrating? Like, what's going on?
Definitely concentrating.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because it's like, look, at the end of the day, I don't need to tell you this, but anyone that has kids
Yeah.
knows that you're pretty much going into a bomb shelter and throwing a live grenade into it when you get into a car.
Yeah.
There's all sorts going on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether they're fighting, whether one's doing something else. So I feel like the radio show is our kind of like, okay, I know you're safe. I know you're alive. Seatbelts are on.
Here
Let
we
me
go.
ignore you and
Yeah.
enjoy the ride
Listen to it.
while I'm going to school. You know?
That school drop off though is crazy. Like I do the pickup sometimes.
Mm.
Hell, like
It's nuts, right?
especially if there's 3 schools in the one area, you're in. Once you're in, you're not getting out for a while.
You have to be very strategic in how
There's
how you
ways
do
in
it.
and out, isn't there?
I literally found like an illegal parking somewhere up on a pavement where
Wow.
now I've noticed other parents are starting to copy
Uh-oh. Yeah.
that if you get onto there,
You can.
you're in and out like that.
Oh,
You don't get
wow.
involved. You don't go around that side or anything like that. And it's just
I
like
know.
I've started to see people copying me. I'm like, no, we're
No,
gonna make
no,
it
this
too
is
obvious.
my secret.
This
Don't
is my
touch it.
spot. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it did happen. At fact, like the other day where I went to go there and there was 3 cars in it. And I'm like, but as an innovator, you have to understand that you're doing it for the community. and
People are going to take
the
your
better,
ideas, okay?
the better good of whatever. So when you were in Oz,
Mhm.
and I mean, what made you decide? All right, I've had enough of this. I need to do something else.
I was already working in radio in Australia, so it took me a while to get into radio. I got into radio really at around 25 years old. Before that, didn't do well at school, and then was just sort of jumping around jobs, barista, cleaning cars, cleaning offices. Did that for a couple of years, and then started working for a radio station as their promotional driver. So didn't really know what radio presenting was, but I just was driving around giving away bottles of water and cans of Coke and chips and all that. And I then got into radio because I started seeing what the guys were doing. The presenters were like, wow, this is cool stuff. So I learnt over a period of like 3 years the art of radio from these guys. And I didn't go to college to do it or anything, just learnt from the guys that were doing it.
On the job.
And that was super cool, like, because they allowed me to come into the studio and just watch it all, right? And then I got my first radio job in Sydney, and that was like sort of my radio journey. I did that for about 5.5 years. And the station that I was at was like a medium-sized station. It wasn't the biggest one. But I kept hitting a brick wall moving up to another radio station. Now, I don't know if it was because of the talent side of things, possibly. I don't know if it was because at that time, us Lebanese Australians weren't like portrayed the best possible way.
Even till now.
Yeah, even still now. We have a bad rep out there. So I don't know if any of the major networks wanted to take a punt or a chance on a Lebanese presenter then, even though I'm Australian. So I just felt like I kept hitting brick walls, and then the opportunity came up to leave and say, hey, I got offered a job in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia or Dubai. And I chose Dubai. I thought, it's 4 hours away from Lebanon. I could practice my Arabic.
Yeah,
and,
right.
which never happened.
Yeah.
And then sort of take it from there. And so then I came out here and helped start Virgin Radio 14 years ago. End of 2007 was the year. And yeah, man, just that's it. It's been since then, just
Been a ride
sort of
ever
been a
since.
ride, been a crazy ride. This sort of, 14 years ago, there wasn't much on Dubai. It was a different city. It wasn't the city that we see now with social media and everything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Completely different feel. It was growing. It was at the conception side of, the Burj Khalifa was half built. JLT wasn't even there. Like a lot of the big skyline buildings that we have here now weren't here. So it's been a ride. It's been a ride, man. I loved it. Loved every moment of it, ups and downs, but wouldn't trade it for the world.
No, man, Dubai is, I mean, because I've been here for a long time as well. And that was the stages where you'd literally drive and you'd be like, this road wasn't here before.
Yeah.
Like this building, turn left at which building? When did they put that there kind of thing? They go quick. But I remember, as you were saying, I remember when I was traveling and I went to Australia, and one of my friends, the first thing he said to me was, don't say that you're Lebanese.
Is that what he said to you? Don't say you're Lebanese.
Yeah, he said, when you're in Sydney, just don't say you're Lebanese. And I was like, why? I mean, and this is a question I wanted to ask you as well, because I don't really associate as Lebanese because I was raised, in the UK, born here, raised in the UK. My father passed away when I was 3 before we went to the UK. And then when my mum remarried when I was around 10-ish, he was Egyptian. So I spent all summers in Egypt. Even my accent, I speak very good Egyptian.
Your Arabic sounds Egyptian.
Yeah, very good Egyptian and stuff like that. So, and I've never been to Lebanon. I'm the only Lebanese person that's never been to Lebanon. So growing up in Australia, did you kind of have that very close attachment with Lebanon, or did you feel more Australian, or was it kind of like in between? Because I'm kind of like, I don't really know where I belong kind of thing. I don't feel like I want to fit in one or the other, because Lebanese are very patriotic people.
Yeah, we don't want you probably though. It's probably good.
You can't have me. It's too expensive now, mate. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Today. Yeah. I know, growing up in Australia, younger as a child, I did not want to be Lebanese. I wanted anything but to be Lebanese. I remember the kids at school, they'd call you a wog, right? It's different terminology than what it is in the UK from what I've understood. But a wog is like, if you're Italian, you're Greek, you're Lebanese, you're ethnic, right? That's what they would call you. And we didn't want to be that. I wanted to be a white Australian. I wanted to have Vegemite in my lunchbox. I wanted to have all that, So I rebelled against it. It wasn't until probably the later ages of around being 18, 19 that I started to embrace my culture and wanting to be Lebanese and making sure everything that I put out, I wasn't an Australian, I was Australian Lebanese or Lebanese Australian, right? In this country, I'm Australian Lebanese. In Australia, I'm Lebanese Australian. And now I embrace it. I wish I spoke more Arabic. My Arabic's horrible. But I would go to Lebanon a couple of times a year, every year. It's horrible what's been happening to it over the last 50 years, but especially over the last recent years. But I am, as much as I'm not fluent in Arabic, my heart, my blood, everything is Lebanese. Like I'm still that, there's that Lebanese in us, right? That we have. So I even did one of those DNA tests. It was 99.3% Lebanese.
No way.
Like 99.3.
Yeah.
Usually you get like this side, that side. It was straight. North African. Points, whatever, 0.7, like nothing. A little
bit of Moroccan in there.
Yeah, I think it was Moroccan. I think it was Moroccan in there.
Makes sense.
So, yeah, it's crazy. But now, now I'm embracing it. Now I want, I feel like I'm everything. Living in this country for long enough, you become... I feel like I'm associated. I can associate with Nigerians. You know what I mean? Like, I know so much about everyone and its culture now living in here. In Australia, I felt like it was more like this. You just do your thing. You know about what you do. Living here, I know about Hinduism, Buddhists. Every type of religion under the sun that I would have never got that flavor in Australia.
Do you think that's more because of the show or because of the the diversity of people that are here?
It's a bit of both, but I think it's the diversity of the people. In my friend circle, I have everyone. From someone from Kenya to someone from India, someone from England. And they haven't conformed to being in a country where you feel like you have to conform to them. They're still practicing what they practice here, so you really get to celebrate all their national days together and their holy days and all that. Like, it's so good. But, as I get older, I want to make sure that I keep embracing that Arab side of me. Here's a question that we spoke about on my radio show today.
You got a radio show?
I've got a little radio show.
Oh, okay.
Mo Salah.
Yeah.
I said I associate with him because he's Middle Eastern, he's Arab. Yeah. Rossi says to me, my co-host, no, he's from Africa. He's Egyptian. Egypt is in Africa. So then we got onto this whole discussion. Started talking to Egyptians. 80% of Egyptians said that they're Arab, Middle Eastern. That's how they look at themselves. Yeah. But there were 20% saying, no, I look at myself as being African.
That's a big thing. There's a big mix of opinion on whether they're African or not, even with Moroccans as well.
So is Mo Salah Egyptian? Is he a Middle Eastern Arab or is he African?
I'd say African.
How is he African?
Because once you're there, I think Egyptians are a bit different to the traditional Arabs. Egyptians, Moroccans, Tunisians, they have a different character and they kind of do things differently.
Yeah, my best mates growing up in Australia were Egyptians. I felt like...
Yeah, but growing up in Australia, that's different because, like, when you think Arab, you think Khaliji.
I think everything. I think Lebanese. I think Egyptian. I think Egyptian. I'd like to know what Mo Salah classifies himself as.
Let me just call him.
Give him a call, mate. Go into your black book there. No, that you've got Mo Salad. I don't want the salad.
No.
We're not hungry.
I was ordering from Zata Rosé.
Yeah.
So listen, being on the radio, and I remember when I went on a radio show, and I was very conscious about not swearing, not saying anything, because you can't do anything, right?
Correct.
When it comes to that. So I remember just standing there because as far as I'm concerned, I'm a little English. Yeah, fuck this, fuck that. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes it just comes out in conversation.
Sure, it does.
Not necessarily that I want to be rude, but just because growing up, it kind of
it's part of the vocabulary.
Part of it, and sometimes it calls for it in funny situations or conversations. So I remember just standing there, and I didn't enjoy a second of it because the whole time I was just like, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Did you have any trouble with that when you first started, or generally?
No, I'm pretty good. I'm a professional, mate. Yeah. Okay, unlike some people that I'm
you come to my house.
I try to take profanity out of my mouth a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Because of that instance of you are on a show where you're just talking and there is no scripts on a radio show. Yeah. So you want to always be careful. There is always that thought of myself going to myself, don't say it, because you could just say it.
Even
you never
something
know.
Like shit, which is like, oh shit, like
Yeah, it's very hard not to do it, but I feel like when the microphone goes on in my radio studio, I know that I'm on. I'm relaxed, I'm chilled, but I also have
it's just become a habit now.
It's become a habit of like, don't say certain things, but also we can't talk about everything. Yeah. There are things that we don't talk about. Now, I'm just touching wood because I can imagine myself tomorrow on the show slipping up going, damn it, was that?
Yeah.
You jinxed me.
Yeah.
But no, you become, I feel like it's always there, On the other hand, our guests come in and we're live and we do tell our guests like, hey man, just, let's keep it clean, no profanity. Yeah. And they're always like, everyone's very kind, but we had Thor go in once, big...
Haptor.
No, Thor, biggest man in the world. He's a legend, by the way. Yeah. But yeah, like I said to him, like the same thing. And I asked him, what do you eat? And he's like, I eat this. And he just dropped the F-bomb straight in the middle of the show.
Do you get like messages straight away? No,
like usually, but because we're also a show that's been around for a while and people understand who we are and what we do. And they're very understanding of like, hey, that wasn't them. It was the guest.
Yeah.
And then after the show aired, I said, you just dropped the F-bomb. He's like, what do you mean? Yeah. And I played it back for him. He's like, oh my gosh, I did not know.
Well, look, you've had Gary V on. Now he literally...
Yeah, he didn't swear. He understood.
I mean,
he's a professional. So he'll know his environment.
He'll do it in his situation, right? But when it calls for because he doesn't want to get other people in trouble.
Oh, if he was on your show, for example, he would do it. He would feel comfortable to be able to swear, but he knows that where he goes, and most radio stations around the world do not allow. There's a media office that won't allow them to use profanity because our kids are in the car driving. You got an 8-year-old in there. The last thing you want your 8-year-old to hear on the way to work is the F-bomb 10 times, let alone once. So it's mutual respect to our audience as well. It's a free mode of media. That's what we do on radio, as good as it all is. But you just turn your car on, you press it, and we're there.
Yeah, it's true. Have you ever? Do you remember ever saying something that you got in trouble for, or that you were like, kind of?
Yeah. Early on my career in Australia, there was a competition that we had, and it was with one of my best friends at the time, and it was called Polly's Fact Hunt. Fact Hunts. And it was a bunch of questions.
I just realized.
There you go. Yeah. So it was a bunch of questions, and you had to try to guess the facts as Polly hunted them. And it was early morning, and I remember going, "Oh, I can smell her. She's just come into the studio. It's time to play Polly's Fact." And instead of saying the word hunt, I said another word, and it came out, and it was like,
it an accident, or were you just?
It was totally. No, of course it was an accident, and. Managers were involved and communication and, a warning. And everyone laughed. Everyone found it very humorous, even the listeners, hysterical. Like, I still remember the guy that was in the helicopter who does our traffic reports, Vic. I had to cross to him to do the traffic. I was, all right, mate, what's happening up in the skies? And
Help me.
It was just silence of like, he lost it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, in radio, they teach you to move on. Yeah. So if you make a mistake or if anything like that, just move on. Everyone could not move on. Everyone was just laughing. So that was the most like the momentous moment that I remember really making that type of mistake, Do
you feel like you're more on the ball here in the region to not make a mistake?
Doing radio in this region, I've become a better radio presenter because doing radio back home, a lot of it's just like sexual connotations, dirty puns, content's a little bit like, you've been cheating on that person. Here, I've become, I would say, a classier presenter where we want to present a show that's entertaining, but at the same time, we also do have guidelines living here. And, it's a pretty PG rated show, but I would hope that an 8-year-old would find it entertaining. But, a 50-year-old would find it entertaining as well. You know what I mean? We go across all the the spectrums.
I think what I find, and this opinion is obviously the most important opinion to ever.
It's yours, of course,
I think the relationship between you, Pretty, and Rossi, just adds that little bit because it doesn't. You never feel like these three guys are like, I've got work today. Yeah, it seems like you're genuinely looking forward to seeing each other for that day. I mean, whether you make I mean, you're still on that scooter thing, right? Yeah. But whether you guys make it seem like that, but you do a very good job of it.
Well, we work together, So on my show, we have myself, we have Pretty Malik, and she's a New York girl from India, and then you've got Rossi from Liverpool, England. They're the three main quote unquote characters, because we are characters. When you do a radio show with other people, you end up forming like a little bit of a TV show. Like people would watch Friends and their characters, and there's different character developments and there's storylines going on. It's the same thing with radio. We've been doing the show together for like, close to 13 years. So you get to know each other pretty well after 13 years. We got to know each other pretty close after, I think, a couple of years. Yeah. Now it's sort of like we know what we're doing. We know our jobs. We know our role. We walk into that studio. We turn the mics on. It's pretty much the same time that the mics are off. It's the same conversations we're having, but just the mics are on and we're a little bit more elevated maybe, but like today I got so frustrated on the show because Rossi did something which really got to me. And in real life radio, we brought that in. I explained why I'm angry, why I'm upset.
What was it? I missed it.
I was explaining how he's an Evertonian. I don't know football, soccer. I don't know it too well. So I just went for Everton for the last 5 years because he's the biggest Evertonian fan. And then I found out, and I was explaining this story on the radio live, and I found out that LeBron James, who is someone that I look up to, I'm a Lakers boy, I love LeBron, I met him recently, it cemented the fact that I love this guy. He owns part of the Liverpool Football Club. And I was like, he owns part of Liverpool? I'm a Liverpudlian now, I think they say. I want to go for Liverpool. So as I'm telling him this on the show, halfway through it, he's ordered coffee. Coffee's come in.
I already know where this is.
So he's just sort of walked off and he's making a pay. I'm in the middle of telling a story. It's like me telling you this story and then you've just got up and walked off, paid a coffee. So I'm like trying to ignore the fact that he's communicating with this guy who's bringing the coffees in, and I'm trying to. And then eventually I was just like, can you just pay for the coffees in 2 minutes when I'm done? Yeah. So we had this like argument on air.
I get it.
You get that?
I get Rossi's side.
Oh, go away.
You don't support a team just because somebody you like bought a share in it.
I didn't really support Everton.
Deeper than that. No, but I'm saying from a hit, because he's a big football fan. I don't support anyone.
This guy.
No, there's a reason for
trying to judge me.
No, there's a reason for that. Why? I like the game. No, when I was younger, so that was my career when I was younger. So I used to play for different teams.
BS
I'll tell you why.
I've ever heard.
So I grew up in London. When I was playing for Fulham, obviously the right thing to do was support Fulham.
You were playing for Fulham?
Yeah.
You played for Fulham?
I played for 6 years for Fulham, and then I went to Croatia as well.
What?
Come on the pitch, mate.
What grade?
I'll twist you up.
What grade on Fulham?
YTS.
What's
so
YTS?
Youth Training Scream, all the way up to
I'm not good
17.
enough grade?
No, all the way up to 17. I was young.
Okay.
Yeah, there. Eventually, I reached the I'm not good enough grade to not get in the first.
Oh, so why wouldn't you go for Fulham?
So because it was right next to my house, and that was like.
But why wouldn't you go for Fulham now?
Because when I was, training at another team, I would, wear their colours.
Liverpool,
and then also Man United. I as a kid, who doesn't support Man United?
Okay, Liverpool, Man United play against each other. You just are not going for a team.
No. But my brother is a hardcore Liverpool fan.
That's boring. That's boring.
It's not.
You don't deserve to watch the games.
I don't anymore. But
What do you mean you don't?
I kind of don't watch football anymore.
Why?
I just fizzled out. Like when you're, like for example, let's just say you're a basketball player.
I am.
Okay, very good basketball player. Yeah. And it's your career, and you get to as far as thingy, and then you don't make it. It's like you don't really want to hang around with your ex-girlfriend kind of thing. You know what I mean? You get kind of.
Are you jaded?
Down. Yeah, I'm jaded, mate.
I'm
jaded. I'm just like, if nobody wants me, I don't want anybody. Yeah, one of those things.
Interesting, because I thought once you get into football and you start watching and you really get into it, you become obsessed, and it's where you want, and you watch every game. I wish I was obsessed with football.
That's how I was, but then I kind of fizzled
Let's get you back into it somehow. Come on. Anyone listening to this that can get him back into it?
Wants an old man in Al Jazeera Football Club. Let's go.
Come on.
Okay, let's talk about your weight loss journey, and because Fade was not fit for a while.
Fade was fat.
Yeah.
Fade was a big fatty.
Maybe you should make a line of the Fade
Fat.
called Fade Fat.
I've already thought about it.
A bit more sugar in it. Yeah, the cheat meals. Yeah.
It's called Fade Fat. No, I wouldn't call it Fade Fat.
You can't use the word fat. Yeah.
No. I was. When I moved here, I was all right. I was just probably leaner than I was now, actually. Yeah. And then as you move to Dubai, they call it the Dubai Stone, where you just get real comfortable and you just eat. And I ate myself into obesity. Wow. I was...
How much you weigh?
I was 100 and... I still remember being 128 kilos.
That's a lot.
So much, huh? And I'm not a tall guy. I'm, 5'10" if I'm lucky.
If you're lying.
If I'm lucky. And I was just horror. I was just eating. I was eating shit. Really, that's all I was doing. I would wake up in the morning, and my show starts at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I would be on the road at about 5, and I'd go drive through McDonald's. And drive-through McDonald's was still serving dinner. They'd breakfast started, I think, at 6 or 5:30. I would be there before. I'd be getting a Big Mac on the way to work, and I was smoking. So I'd be downing a Big Mac and smoking at 5:30 in the morning as I'm kicking off a radio show, right? And that routine and that habit just stayed with me for a while. Then I became overly depressed, anxious.
As you do.
Went through a divorce, and I just kept eating, and I just kept and there was a point where I just knew that I had to change something. So I went extreme, and I went from 128 kilos over a year, got myself down to about 90. So I lost 38 kilos.
That's a lot in a year as well.
Yeah, a little bit over a year, but about 14 months. I did it well, but I did it. I was extreme. I was a bit too well, taking meals with
not enjoying your life.
Oh, it was
horrible.
horrible.
You can't go to restaurants and you can't.
I used to take the meals with me to restaurants. Could you heat this up for me, please? Protein like no other, 20 egg whites a day. I mean, my end result, I was looking good. The six pack was there, the lines were there. Still had a bit of the fat that you would never lose because you were overweight. Still was a bit there, but I felt pretty good. I was confident, but it was not maintainable. You can't maintain that lifestyle for too long. It's and I'm not someone that wants to jump up on all the supplements that everyone takes around here. And it came into my point in my life when I realized health is wealth. It's not how you look. You can be. It took me a while to realize all these boys that I was seeing jacked up at the gym weren't natural.
Here, in this country,
yeah. That took me a while. I didn't understand that whole game, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, because I was training the same amount of those guys, but I wasn't looking the same way, right? Yeah. So, but then I've, over my years now, I've realized that I want to be healthy. I want to look good, but I want to feel good, and I want my heart to be good. So, I am not.
That's not going to help.
What's that?
That stuff's not going to help.
No way, man. No way. And it's pretty open. People talk about it, not just here, but around the world. Like, it's such an open conversation about taking these supplements, be whatever it is. They're like, oh, why don't you just jump on this? I'm like, well,
still a cycle.
Yeah, I don't really want to. I'm happy with where I am. I don't know what I was going to do to myself.
And why as well? This is the thing. It's like, why are you doing it? There's so many people who are doing it. Look, I get it in the competitive world.
Yeah.
I get it when you're a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
When you're a fitness model to some extent.
Yeah.
Where it's your job.
Yeah.
You need to look a certain way. But if you're taking, roids to go to the beach.
Yeah. Well, it becomes addictive. I grew up with a friend of mine at the age of 19 who started taking it back home in Australia. And he's now 40. He is still taking it.
Wow.
Because once you get...
Yeah, your test levels are...
Yeah, but once you get that easy fix of, wow, I can do this and get these gains versus I can do this and not get them, it becomes a mental game. It's more of a mental game. You got to try to overcome that mental game. And you got to realize that you still look good. Like, relax. You don't need to be jacked. But at the end of the day, you just want to be healthy. You want to have that heart health is everything. So where I'm at right now, I'm comfortably sitting at 94 kilos. Not that I've been weighing myself a lot. When you go to the gym, they're, oh, why don't you come test your body fat mass, and why don't we put you on this machine? And then I go, no. And they're like, why? I'm like, just
what difference is it going to make?
Yeah. I don't need to know. I know how I feel. I want to feel good. I do want to look good. But hey, if I've got a couple of extra kilos on me, that's all right. I want to enjoy what I eat. I enjoy what I eat. I eat what I want. I eat in moderation, though. I try to select the smarter choices. But occasionally, if I want to go down a pizza, I'm downing a pizza.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's that moderation of what it is. So I definitely was obese at a rock bottom point in my life, and gradually work my way up to where I'm at today, which is at a good spot. It's not, well, I'm the best in the world. I'm living.
Yeah, but you're 40 something now. It's like you don't want to be trying to live that life.
No, man, exactly. I just want to enjoy my life. Yeah. I want to go to the gym, enjoy it. I like going to the gym. I enjoy that moment. Yeah. It's sort of like therapy.
Yeah, because you go there and you meet people and you talk and you know what I mean?
Well, that's where you train.
You ruin my workout. And
yeah, you talk as well. Everyone wants to talk at the gyms these days.
No, but it's nice though, because like you end up having this group of friends that are in the gym that are not, you're good friends with them in the gym,
Yeah.
but not really outside.
When you're in the gym, you're
so
a
you
little
enjoy the
yeah.
time that you have with
It's a
them
little
there.
community, which I think
Yeah,
is important. I think
And you're all doing the same thing.
I think finding communities like within your life, you've got your family, but then you have like, you got your gym guys, you got your office guys. You know what I mean? I think that's really important. You have different cliques everywhere, you know?
Yeah. You shouldn't keep the same clique everywhere. I mean, it's the same thing. I think it's really important for couples to have their own friends as well.
Agreed.
Because you cannot just, like Seinfeld, when George, he's like, when worlds collide, you cannot put this world in that. Because it's true. You need them to do their own thing. Like,
it's true. No, you want to have your own. You want to have your own friends, your own days off from each other.
Yeah,
it's okay to do that, as long as it's not a continuous thing where it becomes like, hold on a second,
you like their friends more than me.
What's going on? But no, it's definitely important to have your own little lives at the same time.
Yeah, 100%. So where did the Fade Fit start?
I created this brand called Fade Fit because I'm so egotistical that I wanted it after my name. I used, when I was getting fit on my own, I used to just have my own little hashtag called Fade Fit. So anytime I was at the gym or doing anything, I had it. And then when I looked on Instagram about 6 months after, I realized that it was being used by a lot of other people. I thought, oh, that's cool. When people are at the gym, people that listen to my show or follow me on social media, they were using the hashtag. And I had a lot of people. I'd get like anywhere between 1 to 50 a day of, how did you lose the weight, Kris? How did you lose the weight? Could you tell me? And I used to DM everyone back. And I was like, whoa, it's getting too many people. So I end up having a day of wellness. I got nutritionists, I got psychologists, I got trainers, I got motivational speakers. And we did this whole day and we called it Fade Fit. And it was free for people to attend. We had about 2,500 people want to be there. We could only hold 700 at a hotel here. And we did a beautiful day of wellness. People left in tears. People were overwhelmed with just hearing other people talk about their stories. And it was really a kickstart to people's new life. And that's where Fade Fit started. And then from there, it developed into a snack company. And now we're a healthier option snack company. We do tasty protein snacks, energy snacks, kids snacks, all natural. We now have Greek yogurt smoothies.
Milk. We
have milk, organic milk come out. We have vitamins, which we've just released.
It's doing really well, dude.
I'm actually hungry, and I haven't eaten yet today.
So you got your.
So I don't want this to be an info commercial, but
no, that's fine.
These are it. These are our proteins. These are our little proteins that are available across the UAE, across Saudi Arabia, and across the GCC. More to come. These are our vitamins range. I don't know if you've seen those ones.
I'm assuming that bag is staying here.
Yes, this is for you. It's a little cooler bag. Energy snacks.
Nice.
You've tasted our snacks.
I haven't tasted. To be honest, and I apologize. I've never tasted Fade Fit before. Yes. Do you know why? Because usually what your friends do is they come and they see you in the gym and they go, "Hey, try these, mate. These are mine."
Usually what your friends do is support your business.
Yeah, of course.
And buy them at full price.
No. What happens is you let me get a taste for them. And then what happens is I go, "These are really good. I'm going to start buying them at full price."
Do you eat peanut butter?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, you're not allergic to peanut butter?
No. But I'm not going to start chomping on this.
Yes, you are.
We can't do it at the same time, dudes.
Oh, I'll be able to talk.
You have to finish one.
Okay, you try that. They are pretty. So these are one of our best sellers. These are our proteins.
I'm going to have my first ever Fade Fit.
But no, honestly, the reason why snacking came about, I realized I used to put on a lot of weight because you have a go at it.
You go.
Well, I just want you to tell me that's not like, I can't believe you've never tasted this. This is really sad. But I'm glad I'm here for this.
It's actually really good.
It's really good.
I will now go and purchase my.
Thank you. These are overdue, actually. No, I'm joking.
It's all good. I'm used to it.
No, but I realized when I was putting on weight, a lot of the moments, I'd have good breakfast, lunch, and dinner. In between it is where I destroyed myself.
The snacking.
Oh, just chips. But I'd smash a hot dog in between it. You know what I mean? Like, I realized that's where I was doing the damage. It wasn't so much. I would sit down with the family and have dinner and have a regular dinner. I'd have a regular lunch.
Yeah.
But it was more about that in-between snacks that I would just... I'd go through a couple of Mars bars like it was nothing, right? Like just smash them. So this is why this sort of came about, right? So, we're now on a mission to be a community. We're still there. We're still as a community rather than just a snack company and a milk or a yogurt company. We're a community in what we do. So we have presence across the region. We do more events throughout the year, and we're slowly growing.
Fade Kitchen coming soon?
Fade Kitchen? No, not yet. But you got a kitchen in these studios that we're filming in right now.
Make a Fade Kitchen, mate. But so how easy is it? Well, not how easy is it? How difficult was it behind the scenes? Because I'm sure it's easy to say, hey, I'm going to start making snacks. But behind the scenes, there's a lot that goes into it, right? So how did you deal with going from, radio presenting to actually being a businessman? Because they're two completely different worlds, right?
Yeah, very difficult. If you're thinking about starting your own business, a couple of bits of advice that I've learned over the years. Don't give up your day job. Don't just throw everything in, like your income, especially if, I got kids and, you got support networks. If you're on your own, it's a little easier because you can take a risk.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying not to take a risk, but I've seen people leave their well-paid jobs because they've got this brilliant idea that for some reason they've usually convinced themselves, oh yeah, this is going to work.
And someone else just told them, yeah, I'll buy that.
Yeah, you get your friends, oh, what a great idea. Oh yeah, start that up. Oh yeah. And then they're like a year into it, they've haven't had any income because they've left their job. They thought it was going to cost them $50,000 to set up. But then you realize when you start a business, if you think it's $50,000, just times it by 5. It's going to be more. There's always going to be expenses.
Yeah.
You need to be able to cash flow yourself for a couple of years, right? So don't go in, leave it, have it. And that's what I do now. I do my radio, but I do my radio because I'm passionate about radio. I love my radio. If I wasn't passionate about radio, I could leave that job and be full-time on my Fade Fit Snack company after 3.5 years. It's taken me 3.5 years for it to be able to it would give me enough income to get by, not to live the most luxurious life, but just to pay the bills and do what I got to do. So it's very difficult. If you think it's going to take you 6 months, I'm telling you now it's not. If you think it's going to cost you $50,000, I'm telling you now it's not. It takes a lot more than what you expect it to be, and that's something that I learned. It's not easy. I'm lucky enough to have a good, well-established name in this country from my radio show that has opened up so many doors. So to an entrepreneur who's coming in with no name.
Nothing, yeah.
Wow, I can't imagine. I can't imagine how it must feel because it's difficult for me. And I feel like I've got a couple of levels on some people, But the rewards, and I'm not talking monetary rewards, the rewards of having an idea and then seeing it come to life and seeing on the shelves.
On the cover of one of the things, that must mean the world to you because, being a parent, everything is, the kids are everything, right? It's like,
so on the kids snacks that we have, I have my daughters on it. And yeah, like go to the shelves and I'll be like, they're my daughters, man. And they when I put them on, they were like 6 and 9 or 6 and 8. Now they're 12 and 10. And I go to them, look, that's you on the packages. They think it's cringy. Yeah. Because they're at that age. They're like,
yeah. They think everything is cringy.
Everything's cringy, yeah. So, it's pretty cool. Like, it's such a different part of life. I go into boardroom meetings now and I feel like I'm when I talk radio and entertainment, I feel confident in what I do. I've got 16 years of experience behind me in it. In this, what they call FMCG, the food industry, I'm a baby.
Yeah, it's a new challenge, right?
Yeah, so I'm back in there. But I did a lot of listening. I've surrounded myself with good people that know what they're doing as well. So I learn from them. So I'm not going in there trying to be like, I know what I'm doing. Pretty open with them. I'd have meetings with people and say, listen, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm here to learn. And people are pretty, when you open up yourself to people, that's when people will be kind to you. So when you tell someone, I'm hurting, I'm sad, I'm depressed, I need help, people will help you. But if you go in there trying to fake it, I know everything, I feel great, everything's fantastic, people aren't going to help you. They don't think they need to help you.
Yeah, I mean, I think people definitely associate with things that they can, what's the word I'm looking for?
What's the word?
That's what I'm asking.
Associate with what?
With the feeling when they can.
Does it start with C? Relate?
Relate, yeah. So
that's
between the two of us, it took us 10 minutes to figure out relate. But when people can relate somehow to you being vulnerable, I think people enjoy that. They enjoy that feeling.
Yeah, showing vulnerability is a good thing, guys. Like we especially as men.
Yeah. Especially as Arab men.
Arab men, yeah.
Or African men, depending on what you want to be called.
Yeah, you African.
Do you know what I mean?
But showing you vulnerability is a big thing. One of the reasons why I feel like my radio show is very successful. We show, all of us, Rossi, Pretty, and myself, we show ourselves to the point where my mum's like, why are you talking about this? Yeah. It's so personal. Leave that out. They don't need to know this. But I'm like, no, Mum, because if I'm going through this, let me tell you something. There's 20,000 people going through the exact same thing, but they don't talk about it. You know, my wife went through recently, she got fibroids removed out of her uterus.
I remember listening to that.
Yeah, but I told the story on the radio. Now, I asked Brianna. Thankfully, my wife is cool with me sharing it. But I said to her, are you cool with me sharing this story on the radio? She's like, yeah, I'm cool. Because she put a story up on her Instagram. She had all these women say thank you because they've gone through it, the same thing, but they went in silence because it was like a taboo subject. Now, it's something that a lot of women are going to go through in their lives, but we don't talk about it, right? So I talked about it on the show, and again, so many women, thank you for talking about this. Thank you for making this just a regular topic to talk about. You know,
conversation,
we talk about women getting their breasts checked because of breast cancer. Like, 30 years ago, that wasn't a conversation. 20
Especially
years
not on air.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you wouldn't talk about it. Getting your breast checked, have to feel your boobs. Like, it was this weird, like, let's be mature. So showing your vulnerability, I think it's good. It does not show that you're weak.
No, of course.
I actually think it shows that you're strong.
Do you get a lot of hate from people who think you share too much? All that kind of stuff? Because there's always going to be haters saying something, but do you ever get people who are like, well, why are you sharing so much?
Haters there's always going to be trolls. I call them trolls. And why I call them trolls is because in real life, they could never do that. Yeah. They're keyboard warriors. I rarely ever had anyone throw hate against me in real life. I had one guy, but he was highly intoxicated. And he then apologized very many days later on social media when he DM'd me and said, I'm so sorry about how I behaved. I was way too drunk. I just find that I don't mind getting that as a negativity, a message, a tweet, a Reddit, whatever it is. It's fine. But what I don't like is I don't understand. And now there's people that I follow that I can't stand, right? From celebrities to regular Joe Blows, influencers, whatever. Not that I can't stand, but I can't relate to, and it drives me crazy sometimes, some of it.
Why do you follow them?
What? I don't follow them, but I see them come up, and I know of them, right? Yeah. Am I going to take the time to get onto Instagram or Facebook and write a negative comment?
I don't get that at all.
That's where I think to myself, wow.
I don't get it at all. And there's even been times where I've actually caught myself going to write something and then going, why am I even writing this? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, and stop myself.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's so weird.
Are you wasting your time sending a message to someone on social media, be it they're famous or not? Yeah. It's just, for me, it drives, just, unless they're not, if they're not offending you. Now, if they've offended you personally, your race, your religion, your family, all right.
And there's even a way to go about that too.
100%.
Because if you approach someone and say, hey, listen, Kris, I kind of didn't appreciate the way you said that. I felt this.
We have a great conversation.
And then that would start something. And then you'd realize, oh, actually, we're pretty cool.
We have a mature conversation about it.
When someone says, you do this, this, and this. And
someone put something.
Reply to that.
Someone put something on an Instagram post once where I actually DM'd them and just said, hey, I just saw your message. What's da-da-da. Refused to talk to me on the DM, but went straight back to the comments. Oh, now he's DM'd me trying to... And I'm like, now the way that I respond to any type of hate, and let me tell you, I get 99 positive messages, I'll get one negative. And prior to it, you would focus on the negative. I've now learnt and matured where I go, I will reply to those positive messages before I ever reply to that one negative, right? But even with negatives now, I usually reply with, God bless you.
God bless you, yeah. The old Gary V.
I've been doing it for a couple of years now.
Yeah. It works so well.
And it works.
And they don't expect it as well.
I did one recently to a gentleman where I didn't even say that. I just went, he wrote something hurtful on one of my posts. And I went to his Instagram page and he had a beautiful photo with him and his kid. And I just liked it. I said, God bless you and your little kid there, mate. I mean, I want him. He inboxed me. He said, I'm so sorry I don't know why I even wrote that on your Instagram. Yeah. I don't even know you, mate. I just felt like I needed to say that. Yeah. I'm sorry. I've deleted the comment. God bless you, mate. I see you're a good father. Thank you. I'm like, and I replied back, love heart back. I was like, great, that was a little win. That's a nice little win there. Rather than just throw it out with hate. You can't hate. Give him some love. See if that helps.
Yeah, that's the only way forward. Do you want to sing a love song now? Don't worry, we got time.
There's a hero.
And he lives inside us. These clips are going to go everywhere. Look.
Is it rude that I just checked my phone now? Like that was so...
I mean, obviously.
That was
it's just one way of showing that you're really bored and you want to kind of get it over with.
No, I'm not really bored.
Guys,
I'm enjoying it.
We're going to start it now. Why are you checking your phone, dude? What's
well, I've just got to make sure because there was a work thing for this company that I needed to check. Yeah. See, I'm on the group of Fade Fit. I just needed to just reply. I did tell them that I'm out.
You do that. It's fine. We'll just all sit here and wait for you.
Oh, wow. But like the news. Okay, so talking about being an entrepreneur and starting a business, like.
It's all access, huh? It's
so cool, though. Like this WhatsApp, which I can't read right now, but it's related to this business, is such a cool thing. Like it made. Yeah. You get older, it's hard to get excited. Yeah. This made me just so excited just reading this message. I was like,
let me read the message.
And that's no, I don't trust you. I'll read you after.
I think I'm going to say it out loud.
You'll be like Monday. Yeah. No, but like it. That's the real joys of owning your own company is the little wins of you just chip away at something. You just keep chipping it away, and eventually you break through. But it just takes so long. And this journey that I'm on with this baby, and the journey that I'm on with radio, is one that I never want to stop. I want to continue it. You know, I just want to keep doing it. You know.
Well, hey, you might be on the school runs in the future soon as well, huh?
On the way home.
On another school run.
On the lunchbox.
No, I said on another school run. Something we were talking about having kids.
Having another kid?
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to have another kid.
You're ready for that?
Well, that's why Brianna had that surgery.
Yeah.
So she had the surgery because she had these fibroids in the uterus. So personal. And the doctor was like, yo, if you're planning on having children, like where it's situated and the size of it, it's probably not going to be good for you or the baby. So, definitely want to have another child. I've got 2 girls now, 12 and 10, Nushi and Kiki, a.k.a. Zara and Ariani. And they're my life, my joy, my everything. Yeah. That was from my first marriage. And now with Brianna, we got married only a few months back.
Yeah.
And
the Fade wedding.
The Fade wedding.
Guy puts his name to everything.
See that hashtag? Second most trending thing in the country.
Yeah.
Hey, on Google, that was pretty crazy. Yeah. When I did the wedding, I had a PR company come up to me and say, "Hey, do you want us to do a bit of PR on your wedding?" I said, "No, I don't believe." I didn't say I don't believe in PR because I do, but I said I don't believe in PR as me.
Yeah.
For a person, for a company, I do. Yeah. And I said, "Nah, we'll get enough PR on its own. Don't worry, leave it." And then they messaged me after the wedding, like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it was the second most trending thing in the country." And I said, "Yeah, it's funny." But yeah, Brianna and I recently got married. We initially, she wasn't ready for children, but as she gets older, she wants kids yesterday. Yeah. She wants a kid yesterday. So, inshallah, God willing, this year, next year, a new little Fade baby running around.
AJ Fade will join the.
Hopefully,
the
everything opposite of you.
You wish he's gonna.
Your kids are beautiful, though. Your kids,
dude, inside their mind, that's me. The face and everything is all their mom, dude.
Yeah, well, I'm only talking about how they look, mate. Yeah. I don't know them well enough yet, but they are beautiful children. Yeah, beautiful, honestly. Yeah, really.
Dude, one thing I want to talk about to finish off, because I know you're tight for time, and as an entrepreneur, it's all about schedule. You just want to go to the gym and lift some weights.
It's time.
Mayweather, how was that experience for you?
Okay, so I have met and hung out with Mayweather a few times. Yeah. My first interaction with Floyd Mayweather is, now I've been around a lot of fighters, you too, right? Yeah. Especially even the gym that we train out at Champs, Falcons MMA, shout out boys.
Shout out.
Bam Bam did the show,
Bam
right?
Bam did it, yeah.
You know, I WhatsApped Bam Bam a month ago. He hasn't replied
I
yet.
WhatsApped him last night.
Did he reply?
Yeah. He should be coming in July.
All right.
But that's not. I'm not saying he replied to me and didn't reply to you. I also messaged him maybe 6 months ago, and he didn't reply for about 8 months. So it's like he's like.
I got a bone to
It
pick with
depends.
him.
It depends where he is. If he's like just sitting there eating some soup or something, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'll reply."
Yeah. I still haven't. I haven't.
Yeah.
He hasn't replied. I'm dirty on him for that. Bam Bam, where are you? Which camera? This one?
He's on all of them, bro.
Bam Bam, I'm coming for you,
and
man.
guys, just for you, I'd just like to welcome Bam Bam to VUUZLE. He's been sitting behind the couch for the whole time.
G'day, Bam Bam. I met Mayweather and all fighters that I've met, and I've met them all, genuinely
guys,
amazing guys.
Yeah.
You know, and I worked out why. They don't have to have an ego because they know
They got nothing to prove.
They got nothing to prove. They know in the ring or the octagon that I'm sorry.
I mean, look, that's why me and you are so cool, because we did jiu-jitsu once.
yeah. Remember that one jiu-jitsu class
that took
we
us
did?
about a week to recover right after that. That was hilarious.
You know, you saw who I had in a headlock the other day.
Yeah.
I had Hoist Gracie in a rear naked choke. He was teaching me how to do it, right?
I'm looking for that's Hoist hat there.
Is it?
He signed when he came
again, a legendary guy, just a nice guy.
Very nice.
Mayweather, when he first came up, this was a few years back, and I had the opportunity of interviewing him in it, but it was at a nightclub.
Okay.
2:30 in the morning.
Not ideal.
So I did it. I took it because it was Mayweather. I'm in this room. I'm sitting on a couch similar to this, and all I hear him is he walks up, and I hear one of his boys going, "Hey, you just got to do a quick radio interview." And Mayweather says, "Why I got to do a radio interview? Why am I doing interviews now?" I was like, oh, gosh.
Here we go.
But I said to him, which was true, I said, "Mr. Mayweather, you don't need to do an interview. You're Floyd Mayweather."
Yeah.
But I said, for me and my career, it'd mean a lot. And then he looked at it and he went, "All right, let's do it."
Nice.
And we sat down. He said to me, "Let's keep it boxing. I don't want to talk UFC," because at that time it was the whole Conor McGregor thing. And so he goes, "And we got 5 minutes." 20 minutes later, after talking about Conor McGregor and everything, he opened up, and it was a great conversation. And as he left, he actually said to me, "Yo, sorry about earlier on." I thought that was really nice.
Yeah.
So this time around, he came to Dubai, was meant to have an epic fight on the top of the Burj Al Arab helipad. Against dangerous Don Moore, undefeated. That unfortunately, because of situations that happened here, we had to postpone it. It then got pushed by another promotional company to Abu Dhabi. Now, I, again, had the opportunity of being inside the ring, interviewing Mayweather, which was pretty epic. Because as I was sitting there interviewing Mayweather after his fight, even though I'm controlling this interview, and if you look back at it, in the back of my head, all I'm going is like, "Hey, Kris, this is really cool.
Yeah.
You're interviewing Floyd Mayweather after he just fought." Like, that's what's going in my head, because that's pretty cool. I thought, like, no matter what you do as a profession, no matter what you have in your life, like, enjoy the little wins. Enjoy the good moments. And I don't do that enough. Life is full pelt.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have enough time to sit back and go, "Oh, wow, I had this wax Madame Tussauds figure set up here. I haven't, it's there, but I don't appreciate actually it is, because I'm doing other things." It's not until someone comes up and goes, "You've got a wax figure at Madame Tussauds."
Never would a DJ have, like, if you see in England, that's why this country's so.
Who's going to have
like
that? A guy on the radio?
Yeah.
Got a wax figure? What's wrong with you? You guys running low?
It's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. So he was great. The best thing for that experience was one of the commentators one of the commentators they meant to have on that fight had visa issues and couldn't get here, right? So I got last minute, Mayweather's team are like, "You ever commentated a fight before, Kris?" And I was like, "No. I've said I know fighting. I can present."
I did that jiu-jitsu class with the...
Yeah. But I'm not a technical fighter. I can box, but I'm not technical. And they're like, "No, we'll surround you with some technical people, and you can just do the ins and outs." So I could do the formalities, like, "Here we are, round number 1, here at Yas Island, beautiful Abu Dhabi. We've got dangerous Don Moore up against Mayweather." And then I let the professional guys call the fight. But the crazy thing was, as we were commentating the fight, I don't know if you saw it.
Dude, you did really well.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
That's the one thing that I thought when I was listening to it. I was like, Kris is doing really well. And above everything, you were enjoying it. It
was great.
Yeah.
Well, I was watching. The hardest thing was you watch a Mayweather fight, you're watching Anderson Silva fight. Yeah. So I'm a fan. So you're trying not to be silent.
And he's talking to you lot and commentating with you guys.
So we're commentating on Floyd Mayweather. We're like, look how quick Floyd is still at his age. Yeah. And then as he's fighting, he turns to us like, yeah, I'm still quick, aren't I? And we're like, oh my gosh, he's commentating. Yeah. He can hear what we're saying.
He was listening because there's another part where somebody goes, yeah, so Floyd likes to play mind games. And he goes, yeah, you're right. I do that.
See?
And is it like crazy, dude?
And we said it in the commentary, love him or hate him, pound for pound, best boxer to ever live, like pound for what he's achieved and who he's gone up against. Now, at the age of 40, I think he was 44 or 42, don't quote me, man, he's good. Yeah. And these were exhibition matches. They started off slow, right? They were just like, you could see that they were testing each other out. After round number 2, Floyd calls the commissioner in and says, I want them to go to 3-minute rounds because they're only 2-minute rounds. Yeah. So Floyd says, make them 3. I think Floyd realized that he was a lot fitter than Don was. And he says, I want to keep going. Now, I think Don's camp said, no, we're going to stick to 2. Anyway, by round number 6, Floyd...
It was over.
Oh, man, it was unbelievable to see how he goes. And by the time it got to round 10, or round 8, I think we got to...
He's a different... animal.
Just a different class. And you could see that from even with Anderson Silva fighting an amazing local fighter, Bruno Machado, who is an amazing fighter in himself. But again, you just see the class difference, right? And that's what you see in most things. Like, you know, again, I've had the opportunity to be around a lot of famous people, actors, but athletes are next level. I spent a lot of time, or not a lot of time, I spent a good 4 hours with Kobe Bryant, had breakfast with him here, and then was able to be on a basketball team that he coached. Wow. Now, being around Kobe Bryant, you know, even if you didn't know he was one of the greatest of all time basketball players, you just knew that this human being was a cut above everyone else. Like you knew just from his persona, the way that he acts, the way that he spoke. We're in the change rooms of this exhibition celebrity basketball match. We're all there having fun as dopey celebrities. He walks into the change rooms, Kobe Bryant, and he's like, yo, this may be an exhibition charity game, but I don't lose effing anything. We're going to win this. We're all playing hard. And we all just looked up at him and were like,
okay.
All right, Mr. Bryant, you know? And at the same time, as we end up winning that game, but at the same time as that, the coolest person in the world. Didn't have heavy security around him, just a cool guy. People coming up to him, taking photos, chilling. And I'm like, this guy's a legend. The bigger they are, the bigger the celebrity they are, the better they are. You saw that I had Will Smith do Will Smith helped me propose to my wife. Yeah. He's the coolest cat ever, man. He's the coolest dude. And even in recent times with the slap and all that, get on with your life. Media, social media. Anytime anyone posts something, you see, oh, did he slap?
Yeah, no. You know what?
Get on with it. He made a mistake. He's aware of it.
I agree with that. But at the same time, it was Chris Rock, man. If it was anyone else, if it was any other...
No, I think it was good that it was Chris Rock.
No. If it was anyone else and it was just like some mediocre actor, the king of comedy, bro. If like the level of respect there.
No. It was what he did was wrong. Yeah. I've said that. What he did was wrong. And he knows, I'm sure, what he did was wrong. No, I think it was good that it was someone of that caliber. I think if it was someone worse, it would have looked even worse.
Yeah, it would have looked worse on him, but still.
Yeah, no, it was worse. It doesn't matter if it was Chris Rock or Chris Hamoudi from here in Dubai, whoever it was.
Is hilarious, by the way.
Who? Chris Hamoudi?
Hamoudi from Dubai, bro. He's a genius.
Whoever it was wrong. But what I'm saying is, like, everyone's entitled to make a mistake. I've made a mistake. You've made a mistake. We've all made mistakes. But the fact that you just don't lose what this guy has. This guy has portrayed love, positivity for his entire career. I've been around this guy when the cameras weren't on. I've been around this guy when, you know, security guards are saying, stay away from him. And he's saying, no, come up here and talk to this, you know, worker that was working as a cleaner and wanted to really connect with him. You know, like there are those moments that we as the public don't get to see what they really go through, you know. So, and everyone's entitled to that little mistake. Hey, I've made mistakes. You're going to make a mistake. I'm going to continue to make mistakes.
I've made loads of mistakes.
And I pray that this cancel culture that's around us isn't going to try to cancel me or you or someone.
I don't think they're going to last, to be honest.
Well, let's see, because the more we give that, that social media side of things, you know, it gives everyone the ability to be able to comment. And I'm not against that. You know, I want you to be able to share how you're feeling. But when it's at the expense of someone else, I think that's where we have to be really, really. These celebrities, no matter how big they are, they feel that, and they will read that no matter how big they are. You know, so even sometimes when people send me hate and I reply to it, they are in shock. Oh my gosh, I didn't think you were going to see this or reply. And they just did it for attention. That's all it is.
No, yeah. I got a couple of quick questions then, just to round it off. When was the last time you cried?
At my wedding. Anyone that knows me knows that I don't cry. Yeah. Anyone that knows me knows that I don't cry. It's like a running joke, even, you know, at work. Yeah. Everyone's cried like 100 times. I've never cried.
You just came up as silent baby, like you were delivered, and you just went, "Hey, mom,
hey, that was
dad."
It. Yeah, hello, mom, hello, dad. But I cried at the wedding, and even if you look at it, people didn't realize I was crying. It was like I was like when my kids walked down the aisle. It got me emotional, really emotional. And then when I saw my wife walk down the aisle, it got me emotional. And then a couple of the speeches, that it just hit me. They just hit me. It was hard.
When was the last time you changed your mind about something important?
Doing this podcast. We're here. We finally did it. I changed my mind. And it's important.
Times. Yeah, it's very important. But I don't like the way you come into my house and disrespect me. You're doing a Will Smith here. What's the most important thing to you in life?
Family. I think that's the most important thing. I could live here forever. I could live in this city, but I'm 15 hours away from my family. That is the hardest thing for me to deal with every single day. I chat to my family every single day. Family, you are nothing without your family. Have all the money in the world, have everything that you want, take your family out and your health, obviously, but your family means nothing. I have the most amazing experiences here, and I don't get to experience them sometimes with mum and dad and my sisters. That's what hurts me. You know, I'll be sitting in this penthouse, 20-bedroom penthouse that I've been given for the night because, you know, they wanted to spoil me. And I'm in there and I'm like, I wish I had my mum and dad here and my sisters and my brother. And you know what I mean? Like family's everything. You
could see it a lot when they came just before the wedding.
Spoil them.
You could just see that. And it wasn't a case of, hey, look, I want to show off that I can do these cool things with you. It was hey, I want to share these moments with you.
Yeah, I just want to be able to share the...
Did I get that right? That's what you told me to say?
That's what I told you to say. Okay, well done. No, but that's true. Like you just want to share... Like those, like when you can, you know, we are who we are because of our parents usually, or the people that brought us up, right? And you know, upbringing is such an important thing, you know. So now in my life, I'm able, thankfully, to be able to provide for my parents. I don't need to provide for them; they've also okay. But you know, I got to fly them first class home once, and that was like for me. Didn't do it for social media. Didn't do it for anything. I did it. I just, you know, did you take the shower, Dad? Make sure you take the shower. Like, I wanted him to experience that, you know, like, because, you know, they're getting towards their end of their lives. I want to make sure that they experience things that they never got to do.
I totally agree. I mean, it's the same with, even when me and the wife are like, okay, we need to take a weekend off. We've been with these kids nonstop. It's a circus. Yeah. Let's take a day off. And then we get to the hotel and we're like, the kids will really like this pool. So we'll drive back and get them.
Yeah, pick them up.
And then, still spend the time with them. So it's all about the other people.
It's so true.
What's your biggest regret?
Doing this podcast.
I knew that was coming.
I don't know, man. I don't think I got any regrets. It's not like one that stands out that I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I really don't know. I really, like, even getting married the first time. I got married after 6 months. Like, I don't even regret that because of what I have, you know, and what I've learned. So I don't want to regret that.
I totally understand, because I find regret a very weird word, because every action you make or you've ever made has brought you to where you are. And if you're somewhat happy and appreciative of the life that you have, then you cannot regret any. You
can't regret it. Like,
that's taken you there.
It's just always strength. I regret when I was 20 years old, I used to wear contact lenses because I was short-sighted.
Colored ones?
No.
Okay, good.
Occasionally, though.
I knew it.
But I was wearing them because I had laser eye surgery. And I cut my cornea dead center. And I was in hospital for like 2 weeks. And I had to have injections into my eye every day. And I was going to lose my eye. Wow. So maybe... And I regret not cleaning my soft disposable contact lens. Any contact lens wearers, clean them, because they always tell you to clean them, and you get lazy. And I used to be a smoker, so I think I just like grubby hands, put it in. I don't think I even cleaned it, put it straight in. I regret that because I remember those 2 weeks were very uncomfortable.
Who would have thought that the one lesson you would have learned from this whole podcast was to clean your contact lens solution?
Hey, anyone hearing that wears contacts, believe me, no pun, that's an eye opener.
I'm getting my wife LASIK soon because a friend of mine, Arkham, the singer?
Yeah, great guy.
He just got it done, and he was like,
life-changing.
Oh, so this is what you guys see?
He didn't realize.
Yeah, he was like -6. He was like a couple of % from being blind, basically.
Wow.
And he was like, oh, I can actually see the world you see now. And it's completely different, dude. Yeah. Completely.
Yeah, no, I get it. If you guys are ever contemplating it, find a good doctor, make sure you can do it and get it done. Life-changing for me.
How do you want to be remembered?
Sexy.
For being on this podcast. See, this is the one time that you were supposed to say for being on this podcast.
For being on the podcast. I just want to be like a good guy, kind-hearted, made me laugh. Yeah. That's all I want. I want everyone, whoever meets me or hears of me on the radio or sees me on social media is like, I like that guy. He's cool. Yeah? Yeah. Nice guy.
So just lie to them then.
Just lie. Just the opposite of what you're feeling right now.
No, dude, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. I don't want to keep you any longer because I know that you want to go and pretend to do some boxing and film it.
So we're filming this right now. The time that actually you and I are usually at the gym together at around this time. Yeah. But because you've got to do a school pickup.
No. I actually had to cancel them all because I've never done a podcast this early.
Oh, really?
So my wife had to take the kids to school today because Team 5 AM had to come in and do it this time.
Is why the crew's sleeping as well?
Yeah, they're all just sleeping
like, they hate me. Right? Like we're used to doing this at the night time.
Yeah.
And then, I want to end it on this. Don't call. I'm a WhatsApp person.
No. I refuse.
Why do you
this
love
is my
to
mission
call?
in life. This is my mission
I'm not going to answer.
Well, you will eventually, and you have once because I made you answer. Look, I like to hear friends' voices. Even if you say, hey, listen, dude, piss off. And then at least I got to hear you say, hey, listen, dude. I just find text very unemotional. People don't. It's just weird, dude. It's like you're from the 20s, bro.
But I love to just go, yeah, what's going on? Yeah, cool. Then be like,
and I'll tell you why I don't. Because there's a problem.
Hello.
There's a problem with my speaker. So when I record voice notes, they don't record very well. So I don't want to have to start explaining.
Do one now. I want to test it. Let's see if he's lying, audience. Your podcast. Let's see. He says his speaker doesn't work. Send it to me.
Guys, I've been AJ. He's been Kris Fade. Thanks for watching. No. But only when you call and I put on speaker. Thanks for coming in today, bro. It's been really really nice time. Being a radio DJ, I think that you'd know to have the mic a bit closer to your mouth. But thanks a lot for that, man. It's been a great day.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh no, I blocked you.
Oh, there you go.
Now, here we go. Let's have a listen.
Thanks for coming today, bro. It's been really nice time.
Now, there you go. See, it does make sense.
Radio DJ, I think that you'd know to have the mic a bit closer to your mouth, but thanks a lot.
This time it didn't cut out. So I'm going to call you later today and you better answer. And I just want to hear your voice, dude.
I love it. Listen,
I love you, dude.
I love it.
Your voice.
Well, no, I don't. Well done. Thank you for allowing me to come on your podcast. It's a great podcast. I enjoy it. I like watching it. I love seeing most of your guests. But keep doing what you're doing as well, man. It's cool. Cool to do this from this region.
Appreciate it, man.
Well done.
Appreciate it. Boom.
Are we out?
Should we hug? Kiss?
No, not really.
No? Okay.
Said you sniffly eye.
Boom.